Rob. What's in the news?
Newsham Park in Liverpool, England. Starting as an orphanage, then became a hospital, then it became a mental asylum. It's been abandoned for a while, but it's been recently opened up for the public for ghost hunting and different events. And the place has a very interesting history and pretty creepy stories to go along with it.
There are quite a few stories. But first, before you get into the history, we have to show you this picture. This was taken from an article in 2017. Now first we're going to show you the group shot. This was taken on tour in this building. Now I'm going to zoom in just a little closer so you can get a feel as to what's going on. Now, check out this third photo. Oh my god.
Yikes!
Like, seriously, look at the different color of the face going on here. Like,
yeah, that
pasty, dead-looking type of thing, right in front of this man's chest.
Right, because so either that person was not there in the first place, or they had makeup to look like a zombie. I'm sorry, they don't look. That does not look like everyone else.
No, and let me tell you, this was a ghost hunter that had been hunting for roughly 12 years. He tries to debunk everything. He put this out on Facebook. Tried to ask everyone in the group if they could identify this girl that was there, and no one could.
That is pretty creepy.
It is creepy. So, I mean, if this was a photoshopped job, then kudos. Because from someone who's had experience, I've worked in the field in Photoshop, and I can do it, but it's not easy. It's years of experience. So if this ghost hunter, on top of being a ghost hunter, has that much time
there's also a certain amount of film grain in this one too.
Yeah, there is.
It just looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to blend it in.
Well, I mean, it can be analyzed. You know, they can send these photos out if, you know, they want to prove without shadow of a doubt that it wasn't tampered with. You can, but take it for what it is. I think it's wild.
So on September 30th, 1874. It opened up as an orphanage for British seamen.
British seamen.
Known as the Seaman Orphanage. Over the next 10 years, in 1884, they already had 800 fatherless children there they were taken care of. By World War I, the influx, there were thousands of orphans. Many of them were taken into this orphanage. Then basically things didn't go so well in there. Aside from extremely strict regulations and very harsh punishments for children who misbehaved, there were a lot of other, as you hear so many times in these situations, mistreatments. After World War II, they lost their funding, and it closed down in July of 1949. 2 years later, in 1951, the property was sold, and in 1954, Newsham Park Hospital opened up. Mainly used for psychiatric. Basically, they built their own psychiatric department, and they got a huge influx of mentally unstable patients. The hospital stopped bringing in patients in 1998, and by 1992, both the staff and the patients were relocated to other facilities, and the place closed. Over the same year, it was restructured as an asylum. The patients from the Rainhill Lunatic Asylum, yes,
Wait.
yes, that's everywhere I've looked at. That's what it's called.
Okay, that's not proper.
That's like PC. Okay, it's like, hi, we're from the Jolly Farms Nut House. Anyway, they were moved over there, and they were cared for there in a asylum/nursing establishment till it finally closed down in 1997. They sold the property again, but things were talked to be developed, but they weren't, and for the most part, it's pretty much just sitting there.
Then it became a paranormal circus. Being that we've been talking about the UK so much, I just suddenly wish that I had the ability to speak in a British accent.
Oh, you can't talk in a British accent.
No,
Oh.
I can't.
Okay, I don't want to go anymore because I don't want to offend anybody out there.
I forgot that he was an actor.
Do we know anybody who lives in the merry old land of England?
I hear ringing.
How are people getting that number?
I don't know.
I
I actually tried to look it up. I can't find it.
I don't know. Answer it.
Hello?
Hey,
Now, who is this?
it's Nell from Nell's Crypt.
No!
Nell from Nell's Crypt. Oh, how are you, hon?
Cool.
Yeah, I'm good. How are you guys?
We are like doing so awesome, especially because we were just saying that, well, I was saying that I wish I had the ability to talk in a British accent,
Yes.
and now you're on the phone. I guess your ears were ringing. I don't know.
Anyway.
But
Phone puns, yay. Okay.
but like we were just talking and on this show today about Newsham Park. Now, are you near that at all?
I've not actually been there myself, but I've heard like a lot about it. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too far from me to visit, kind of like in a day kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have like a ton of places down near me that have like different hauntings and like spooky stories about them and all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you're a while from Liverpool.
Yeah. I think it's like 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
But we highly recommend this place, and you'll see soon when we get into the ghost story aspect of it. There is a lot of crazy stuff going on in there.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth an overnight trip to stay up there. Well, being that you haven't been to that location, there is a list from, it's called Higgy Pop.
Higgy Pop.
Have you been to any of those places on the list?
Yeah, I have actually. So a few years ago, I actually went up to Edinburgh.
Oh,
very
okay. That
interesting.
sounds cool. Well, what happened?
We had a few interesting things happen, not only in the vaults. I'm not sure whether it was like inside the vaults or like just outside them as we were walking, but at one point we were walking down the street by them, and all of a sudden it felt like someone hissed in my ear, witch. And of course, like way back in the day, like there was a lot of religious upheaval and like people being like either burnt at the stake for being heretics and hangings there for witchcraft and all kinds of stuff. And so I kind of looked around, kind of thing like, okay, what the heck was that?
Oh, that's gotta send a chill.
That is creepy.
Yeah, that wasn't particularly nice, and I'm pretty sure I managed to bring something kind of nasty back with me. All the way back down.
Oh no.
Yeah, all the way back down to England.
I mean, I think because you're a sensitive, right? They might cling to you pretty easily.
Yeah. I was walking in from work, and my cat that I had at the time, she had run out into the hallway of the apartment building. But this time she seemed like really kind of freaked out. You know, when they get scared, they kind of puff up.
Yeah. Yep.
Like something had kind of really upset her, and it took longer than usual to get her back into the apartment. The suitcase that I'd taken up to Edinburgh with me, when I left work that morning, it's been tucked underneath my bed on the far side of the room. And now this suitcase I've managed to trip over, and I've no idea like how it got from underneath my bed on the other side of the room to like inside my bedroom door.
Oh,
whoa.
Yeah, it's like, there's no way my cat would have been able to do that.
No.
Tiny little thing.
No.
And so, how does that happen?
That is crazy.
After that, like, whatever it was kind of went. I don't know what it was, I don't know what it wanted, but, like, it's had its fun, apparently.
What's been going on with your channel? You got some new things in the mix coming up?
I do, yeah. Well, I'm currently working on a video about Venetian Island.
Ooh. That sounds
which-
old and a lot of history there.
Oh yes, yeah. It's apparently been labelled the most haunted island in the world. I'm also planning a video on the Cecil Hotel over in LA.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I've actually heard of that.
Yeah, that one has some pretty dark history as well. So
Yeah, you've been into some pretty gruesome stories and tales as well, because you also do true crime, right? You're not just a spooky storyteller.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, and if I find stories that kind of like has the two kind of mixed in, then yeah, having the mix of the two is pretty interesting, I think.
You've got a lot going on. I'm just really glad that you gave us a call right now, because I just really wanted to hear that British accent. It's amazing.
Look, everyone out there, please, the link is going to be in our description. Give Nell some love.
Yes. And she's just like a really fun, spooky storyteller. I really enjoy your stories. We both do. And just
Thank you.
hit her up. Hit her up. Well, we will be talking to you again really soon, hopefully.
Yeah, thanks for giving us a call. It was great talking to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it's been awesome. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
We will do this again soon. All right.
Absolutely.
All right, you have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cool.
How does that even happen?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But that was Nell. So, about the creepy factor behind this Newsham hospital, there were a lot of ghost stories and sightings coming out of this place. One account, there's a gentleman by the name of John Gray who said he worked there for, he was a switchboard operator for roughly 13 years. He says that place is so evil that he will never go back.
Yeah, but hear a lot of people saying evil.
Evil.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess because they hear a lot of things and sounds and dragging noises. But a few of the accounts that he had, one, he said he was cold, so he went down into the basement area, went to go get a blanket, and a man walked by him in a white coat, no head, and walked right through the wall. Now, if I saw something like that, I might label that as evil.
See, I don't know. I wouldn't call that.
With no head?
Sure. Maybe it just didn't materialize. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. But a second account that he had seen a woman on top of a staircase in Victorian era period clothing, and he had thought that might have been the matron of the orphanage.
Okay.
But yeah, there's I think there's Ward C, where they call it the Naughty Boys Corridor.
Oh,
yeah.
I've read this.
You heard that? Go ahead.
This is where, as I mentioned earlier about a lot of strict punishments and mistreatment, there were actually this series of cupboards, I'm assuming like little cabinets, where they would actually lock the children in.
Yeah.
And it's been known that one of them died while being locked in there. And on that ward, it's known that there is the people have seen the spirit of a small child walking around there. Yeah,
and then they hear the cupboards banging, banging from the insides, which is really creepy.
And that's exactly what I mean. I wouldn't, they say, oh, there's ghosts, it must be evil. No. The ghosts aren't evil. What happened to them was evil.
Well, yeah, but I mean, a lot of them claim that when they first walk into the place, they just feel that sense of evil and heaviness.
I would imagine a sense of sadness.
No, definitely that.
I wouldn't immediately go right to evil. I mean, we've read a lot of stories about people have had different experiences there. I wouldn't personally wouldn't say it wouldn't be scary, but I wouldn't consider that as evil. I would consider that more of just sad, very depressing.
They have a lot of activities that you can do as a ghost hunter there. You can actually spend the entire night there. They'll have events set up. Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome? I mean, just you could do, they do seances and vigils, they do Ouija board sessions. Oh, what was the, table tipping. Have you ever seen this? Table tipping. I don't know what they do during this, but I know they all like get around in the table, around in a circle, maybe like hold hands, put their hands on the table, and just suddenly the table tips over. So I don't know what they do. I have to look more into it, but
So I never did table tipping. When I get mad enough, I do table flipping.
Anyone from the UK area or anyone planning to visit the UK area, we highly recommend this place. Do go, because
cool.
it is amazing.
And I think that should pretty much wrap up the news for today.
And we'll see you next time.
Later.
Hoy.